Utah 24, Florida 11. Utah went into this game being down 8 starters. And with that, you would think that Florida would have had a big advantage going into this matchup. But it didn't matter because Utah still got the win. And Kyle Whittingham and his Utah coaching staff put on a damn coaching clinic against Billy Napier and the Florida Gators. The Florida Gators did not look ready to play in this game. They didn't look buttoned up. They had several penalties, false start penalties, illegal formation. They had one special teams play where they had 2 players in with the same jersey numbers. Utah and Kyle Whittingham proved to everybody tonight why they are one of the best programs in college football. Billy Napier and this Florida offense have a lot of issues that they got to work on. This offense still looks like shit. They were terrible on third downs last season, and they were terrible in third down situations in this game. These fools went 1 of 13 on third down. There were a good amount of Florida fans that felt like Graham Mertz could be an upgrade over Anthony Richardson because he would be better playing within structure. Graham Mertz did not look that good. He played better in the fourth quarter, but he still wasn't anything to write home about. There were plenty of missed opportunities that Graham Mertz left on the field. Overthrows. He had Ricky Pearsall open a couple of times, and instead, he just went to somebody else. The offensive line gave up 5 sacks against a Utah defensive line that was having some depth concerns heading into this game. And the rushing attack, which is supposed to be the strength of this Florida team, was non-existent. And what was the biggest key to Utah being able to win this game? It was the fact that they were able to shut down the Florida rushing attack and force Graham Mertz to beat them through the air. Graham Mertz is what we thought he was. He may not be terrible, but as far as Florida being able to survive this gauntlet of a schedule that they have this year, it's going to be some really tough sledding for these boys, man. Some really tough sledding. And the downside is that you don't have the playmaking that you had from Anthony Richardson to bail you out. They could have used Anthony Richardson tonight because that run game was really struggling. Utah's defense was really phenomenal in this game. Even though they gave up a couple of big plays here and there, they were getting after Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz and this Florida offense couldn't do anything but throw the football short. They couldn't really stretch the ball downfield vertically. This secondary played really well outside of that touchdown that they gave up. Utah is just a way better football team than what Florida was tonight. People were trying to say Florida had a talent advantage in this game. Talent advantage, my you know what. Who cares about the recruiting rankings when you're a really good program at player development? Graham Mertz didn't play bad, but he didn't even look like the better quarterback on the field. Utah's 2 backups look better than Graham Mertz. Nate Johnson, he didn't do anything throwing the football, but he was really impressive on the ground, especially with that rushing touchdown that he had. Bryson Barnes, the first play, he took the top off the defense, 70-yard touchdown. How does this happen if you're Florida and you're Billy Napier? You had all off season to prepare. All off season. It doesn't matter if this is week 1. There's a lot of things that if you're a Florida fan, you need to be really concerned about. You got one of the toughest schedules in the nation this year, and this offense doesn't have a lot of depth at wide receiver. You don't have wide receivers that are great at being able to get open and create separation. Marcus Burke had some pretty good catches in this game. Ricky Pearsall is your best weapon, but you didn't even know how to get this man the damn football until late in the game. If the rushing attack isn't there for Florida, this offense isn't going to have any much more success than what they had last year. They continue to struggle in the red zone. This was a problem that plagued them last year. Some of us tried to give Billy Napier the benefit of a doubt with having Graham Mertz. And I know this is week one. You can say this is an overreaction, but I think it's safe to say we know what Graham Mertz is going to be this year. He's going to be average at best. Yes, this is a week one game and you don't want to overreact to anything, but you were playing against Utah, one of the better teams in college football, a top 15 team. If you're struggling against them, what's going to happen when you play against Tennessee or South Carolina or Georgia? Vegas has Florida with an over-under win total of 5.5, and I kind of see why. The offensive line giving up 5 sacks is really concerning. Graham Mertz, he may get a little bit better as he continues to develop more chemistry with these receivers, but he still is a little inaccurate. He can't make big plays downfield. He can't make a lot of throws in the tight windows. He's just not a good quarterback. He may give you serviceable play at times, but unless your defense plays the whole entire season the way they did in the second half of this game, you're going to be SOL. I'm really disappointed in how this Florida team came out tonight. You got to give a lot of props to Kyle Whittingham and how he had his guys ready to play. Utah obviously was more prepared, and they put on the masterclass performance against Florida tonight, man. Florida fans should be really discouraged with what they saw tonight because things are only going to get difficult from this point forward. If you're struggling against Utah, imagine what's going to happen when you got to go against Georgia and some of the better teams in the SEC. That shit is going to be a shit show. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on Utah's 24-11 victory over Florida. Listen to the JT Sports Podcast. We're not just a YouTube channel. You can find us on all podcasting platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast from. You can find the JT Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed this recap and reaction to the game, leave us with a 5-star review. We would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys with another episode of the JT Sports Podcast.